Hey guys, and welcome to Sprout University. Today we're going to be looking at SunGarden Fresh Living in our Sprouts and Microgreen product lines. My name is Silas Stoddart. I am the Marketing Director for SunGarden Fresh Living. My contact information is on the screen. My email is silas.stoddart@sproutnet.com, or feel free to call me on the phone, 931-526-1106, extension 126 at any time. Joining me today is Ryan Walden, Account Executive for SunGarden Fresh Living. His contact information is on the screen as well, ryan.walden@sproutnet.com, or you can reach him on the phone at 931-526-1106, extension 114. If you have any questions after this webinar, feel free to reach out to either one of us. We'll be glad to answer any questions or just generally chat with you about sprouts and microgreens. I'm going to go over a quick agenda for today's webinar. First, we're going to take a look at exactly what are sprouts and why you should be carrying them at your distribution centers or in your grocery stores. We're also going to take a look at some industry trends and benefits and see really what's going on inside the sprouting world right now. We're also going to take a look at SunGarden Fresh Living and who we are in the industry and why you should get your products from us. And then at the end of it, we are going to take you on a up close and personal virtual tour through our entire facility. We're going to look at our seed procurement department. We're going to look at our quality assurance, our seed purification. We're going to go through our SunGarden sprouting facility. And we're also going to look at Centrex Manufacturing, the wing of our operation that actually manufactures all of our own sprouting equipment. And then last but not least, we are going to have a Q&A session at the end. If at any time throughout the webinar you seem to have a question, go ahead, open up your Q&A bar, type in your question. When we get to this section, we will answer them on a first come, first served basis. Guys, I would like to remind everyone this is a live webinar. If we experience any technical difficulties, I do apologize. Just bear with us and I will get us up and running shortly. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan.
Perfect. Thanks, Silas. And on behalf of the SunGarden team, I just wanted to tell everybody thanks for joining us on our first Sprout webinar. We're excited to show you our facility, so we'll get started. So Sprouts, a new approach to healthy eating. We kind of have an acronym of the Sprout word that we like to use at SunGarden. So they are superfoods that nourish. They are a very powerful source of nutrients, respecting the environment, outstanding values, uplift and energize, true by nature, and safeguarding with the best quality systems. We like to kind of have a funny quote in here, but from the movie Ratatouille, this much I know, if you are what you eat, I only want to eat the good stuff. So we like to think that's what we've got here at SunGarden. So in a time of change, with the COVID pandemic going around, these are uncharted waters for everybody. So we kind of have put together something that, hey, what's in it for a potential customer here, or an end user consumer. So attracting new health conscious demographics, including millennials and Gen Z, which is very important right now. Meeting the demand for healthy food from existing customers. Helping other customers to eat healthier by making natural foods more accessible and more affordable than ever. And then adding Sprouts to elevate your healthy product selection, whether that's food service, retail, and then introducing customers to tasty, innovative Sprout recipes, which, for most, that's the trick is, hey, I got these awesome products. How do I use them? What do I use them? So we do have some help with that as well. So some of the trends that we're going to talk about as far as the rise in sprout consumption that we've seen, consumers are shifting towards sustainable, organic, healthier foods now more than ever. Basically, the increasing health consciousness of a consumer is fueling this demand, for these sprouted grains and seeds in the market due to their high nutritional value. Plant-based diets, which that's a buzzword, amongst the industry in general right now, are increasing. And this is basically a powerful source of nutrition and protein alternative to the animal proteins. And with the millennials that we talked about, 52% of those right now, according to the Organic Trade Association, are organic consumers, which is huge. And of those consumers, 52% are consuming more vegetables than ever. So, the millennial driving this change right now in the food industry, shifting their consumption towards retailers who carry these natural grocery assortments is very beneficial. So why would you add Sprouts to the shopping list, essentially as a retailer or even a consumer in a restaurant. Why would you want to add sprouts? So there are many health benefits, to these, which we'll go over in just a sec. But the way that we do procure these, we have the seeds in the germination process that naturally transmutation release these to their full nutritional benefit, making our sprouts the freshest and most nutritious of all vegetables available to the human diet. They are a nutritional powerhouse loaded with vitamins A, B, C, E, and K. And you can kind of read some of the additional benefits, but antioxidants, copper, potassium, obviously protein is huge right now. And then we've got a little magic ingredient called sulforaphane, which will help, kind of explore how that benefits you in just a second. So here's some of the sprout benefits. I know some of you are very familiar and some of you don't have never really seen any. So we'd like to go over some of the more important ones. Building a healthy immune system. These are rich in vitamins A and C, helping it to stimulate your white blood cell count, which help fight off infections and disease, which now more than ever is very crucial in everyday living. They boost blood circulation. So how do they do this? They're going to supply cells with significant amounts of oxygen as well as iron and copper. They are promotive to the digestive tract. I know right now with the amount of fibers we have, they do promote gut health. I know that's anytime you open a health magazine, an article online, gut health is key. Everything starts within. So, this essentially helps your food effectively enhance the absorption of nutrients, which is very crucial. And they help to alkalize the body. They help regulate and balance the pH levels by reducing levels of acidity. These are great for weight loss. They're extremely high in nutrients and antioxidants while being low in calorie, allowing one to feel full for a longer period of time. They're very heart friendly. So they're fluent in omega-3 fatty acids. And this basically results in anti-inflammatory properties to reduce stress on the cardiovascular system, which is very important. They're great for skin and hair, which benefits every single person, essentially on the planet. They're abundant in antioxidants. What these help with is the vitamin A role to stimulate those hair follicles, which encourage hair growth. And they're very great for anti-aging properties. Sulforaphane, which is the magic ingredient we talked about earlier. This essentially protects human cells and acts as an amazing shield agent against many diseases such as cancer. So sprouts are great for any diet, and just they're great for grab and go. You can put them in soups, salads, sushi, stir fries. They're great for adding texture, flavor, and color to any recipe. We also have a sprout powder line. These are great for the juices and smoothie blends, but you can mix them in yogurt, cereals. We're also engaging very heavily with the baking industry and cakes, pancakes, tortillas. So a lot of great things on the rise for sprouts. So a little bit about SunGarden. Our mission here, I'll just read it for you. Future of healthy, ethical, and sustainable eating. We're sprouting for the nutrition, wellness, and health of our communities while honoring and respecting our planet. And our promise to you all is that we do use the best food quality system and processes to deliver clean, ethical sprouts supercharged with vitamins, minerals, proteins, and enzymes. Ours are grown to maximize nutrition, which I think is more than ever important these days. And we allow maximum nutrition with antioxidants, digestive enzymes, chlorophyll, and plant proteins. So we are a no-waste production, which basically means we are a grow to order. So, we're not just growing X and deciding, hey, if we use them, cool, if not, cool. We're growing exactly to order. And what happens if a customer cancels? We do grow a little bit too many. What we do is donate to food banks, our local zoos. So we don't want to have any waste at all. We're very mindful with our water use. We have, extremely sustainable processes. And then a little bit about the physical SunGarden. We are located here in Cookeville, Tennessee. We are supplying over 50% of the sprout market, whether that's our equipment or our treated seed. We grow millions of pounds of sprouts per year. We do boast a record number of food safety certifications. All that combined, we deliver a high quality experience and customer service. And so some of our best sellers, I know some of you out there, I can see a lot of our customers on this call are familiar with our products, but for some of you that aren't, or maybe a first time inquiry, alfalfa sprouts, broccoli sprouts, clover, and then bean sprouts are some of the more staple items. We also do some radish, lentils, green peas, We also do a wheatgrass line that paired with some of our microgreens. We do a great cilantro. We do an organic and conventional line. We do our garlic sprouts. We also do sunflower shoots. And then on our sprout powders, once again, we do have organic and conventional with that. We do alfalfa, broccoli, kale. Some of those are loaded with sulforaphane, so great for any recipe. And so we do everything in-house. We like to brag that, hey, we are here at SunGarden vertically integrated, which is extremely important. So we are grown and harvested with our care in our state-of-the-art facility right here in Cookeville, Tennessee. With our rigorous quality and food safety processes and procedures, this ensures the highest integrity, purity, and taste of our products, which at the end of the day, that's very important. We offer sprouts that are safe and free of human and plant-based pathogens. We treat our seeds here with a proprietary non-thermal organic pathogen control process, which when we get to the tour here in a minute, Silas will show you a little bit more about that. We harvest our fresh sprouts hydroponically, which is great for sustainability and shelf life. And so a little bit about the shelf life. Once again, some of you may be very familiar, some of you don't know yet. So the fresh sprouts, we generally have about a 2-week shelf life, which is generally, 5 to 7 days longer than some of your traditional leafy greens that are kind of in the same category. We do recommend refrigeration between 34 and 40 degrees. And then with our sprout powder, those have about give or take about a 2-year shelf life. And we recommend those are stored at room temperature. Some of our trusted partners you can see here. We just wanted to thank everybody that's getting on the call with us today, whether you're a current partner, future partner, or just looking to learn a little bit more about the sprouting industry. So we do thank you for that. And then basically together, we want to rally for a healthier eating. In this time of change, we believe now more than ever is great time for eating clean and living healthy. It's more than just a trend. We really do believe it is the future here at SunGarden. And we do produce the best sprouts in the industry. With a lot of our local partners having the best distribution, we wanted to say thank you. And for any additional inquiries, will be available after this. And the market is ready for our sprouts. And with that being said, I'll let Silas kind of take over for the video tour, and then we'll get to the Q&A section.
Thank you, Ryan. Guys, I would like to go ahead and point out that if you want to see some testimonials on our sprouts or our powders, go ahead and go to our website. Go to www.sproutnet.com. Go to our media section. We have numerous videos and things there. They're going to tell you all about the amazing benefits of sprouts and how they can help you today. With that, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to dive right into our sprouting facility. I'm going to start first with our seed warehouse and our seed screening department. Then we'll go into our seed purification room. We'll stop briefly in our Centrex manufacturing area, see the equipment being built. And then finally, we're going to end up in our SunGarden sprouting facility. So we are SunGarden Fresh Living, and we've been in business since 1979. Starting off here at SunGarden Seed, as I said, we're going to start in our holding area. So we are sourcing seed from all over the globe, and we're bringing in truckloads of seeds from GAP certified farms to be sure that all of our seed is top quality with the safest food safety regulations in place. We're going to bring in lots of seed. They're roughly 40,000 pounds at a time. That's about 800 to 1,000 55-pound bags. So what are we going to do with those bags? We're going to take a sample out of each and every bag, a cross-section sample, to be sure that we're getting a 99% chance of capturing any sort of pathogenic bacteria that may be present in this raw agricultural product. Now, after the sample is taken, we're going to take that sample and we're going to move it over to our quality assurance department, and we're going to find out if there's any bacteria present. So in this area, we're going to grow that sample out. That sample may be 50 to 60 pounds of seed from that 40,000 pound lot of product. We're going to grow it out for 24 hours. We're going to take a sample of spent irrigation water. That gives us the highest probability of detecting any sort of pathogenic bacteria that may be present. We're going to test it for Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria. If we find any of these, we're going to reject that seed and completely remove it from the food supply chain. If it passes this testing, then we're going to take it a step further and move it into our purification facility. In this purification facility that we're walking into right now, we're going to take the seed that has passed our screening processes, and we're going to apply a organic, non-thermal pathogen reduction system that's going to give us up to a 6-log reduction in pathogens. Why is that important? Well, current industry standards only are achieving roughly a 3-log reduction in pathogens. So we're doing twice as good as the current industry standard. And what is exactly a 3-log reduction of pathogens? A 3-log reduction of pathogens? A 3-log reduction of pathogens is the equivalent of the hand sanitizer that everyone's been using to fight coronavirus. So as you can see, we are doing a tremendous job to reduce the pathogens in the seed. After it's gone through this process and it's brought back to a normal moisture content, we're going to bag it up in our SunGarden branded bags to be sure that every seed you see in this bag has been through a non-thermal organic pathogen reduction system. And then before we move it into our Centrex manufacturing facility, before we move it into our sprouting facility, we're going to take a look at Centrex manufacturing. This is our manufacturing facility that's been in business since 1979. We've been building state-of-the-art sprouting equipment that's found around the globe. We're in 6 continents and 60 countries worldwide, and we have set up hundreds of sprouting facilities. We know exactly what it takes to sprout premium, top-of-the-line sprouts and microgreens in your area. Now, let's go into SunGarden Fresh Living, which I know is why everyone is here today. Before you go into the facility, you're going to stop in our locker rooms. This is where all of our employees are going to stop and get ready for that day's production. They're going to put on appropriate PPE. They're going to wash up, and they're going to get ready to go into our sprouting facility. Now, up here on the left, we're going to walk through the doors you see ahead of us. At the other side of that door, on the floor, there's going to be a chlorinated foot bath. All employees and all visitors going into the facility walk through this foot bath to be sure that we're not tracking in any sort of pathogens from the outside world. Then as we walk in, you're going to go into our storage room. That room is going to contain all of our seed and all of our packaging for that day's production. As we move from the storage facility into our room, you're going to see this is our fleet of Rototechs. This is a state-of-the-art piece of sprouting equipment that we have designed and built for the sprouting industry. It is a best-in-class piece of equipment that utilizes orbital tropism to create an optimal germination and a consistent product across the entire crop. You can be sure that by using this piece of equipment, we are achieving up to close to 100% germination on all of our seeds. We're also going to pull a water sample from this piece of equipment at 24 hours. And again, we're going to test it for Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria to make sure that we are still having a clean, safe product for you. This is not the only piece of equipment that we use or build. We also utilize a track system which utilizes growing trays to provide us a very awesome microgreen product. This system gives us great versatility, providing you with a nice, clean microgreen product that can be sold to your customers that again has up to a 2-week shelf life. So now I want to show you a little bit of us harvesting out of the Rototech. So the Rototech is completely enclosed with no human contact during the growing process. This point is the first time we have touched the product in 5 days. Then it's going to go through our washing system to dehull it and apply a little bit of citric acid to increase our shelf life and create a little bit more of a reduction in pathogens. Now let's move over to the mung bean production area. This is our seed soaker. All of our mung bean is going to be sanitized in a seed soaker to be sure that we are creating a clean, great product. After the sanitizing, it's going to dump into one of our bins. We're going to plant roughly 110 pounds of seed in one of these bins, and it's going to give us about 1,400 pounds of finished product. That's a lot of mung bean, guys. And you see here, this is the harvesting process of the mung bean line. We're going to tip up the mung bean bin. We're going to drop it onto some shaker tables. It's going to de-root, de-hull, and de-water the product, creating a nice white, long, clean mung bean sprout, which is exactly what your customers are looking for. It's going to give you a great shelf life due to the lack of water. And we're going to use our custom built pack off tables to be sure that we are filling exactly the amount of sprouts in each bag to be sure that you are getting the same amount that you expect. And after that, we're going to move into our cold storage area. Once the sprouts go into this room, they will never again leave the cold chain until they get to the final end place of the customers. And hopefully then it's still going to be in their refrigerators. And we're going to keep retains on all of our products in cold storage. These retains be sure that allow us to know that our shelf life is keeping up and that we know exactly what our customers are getting when they buy their sprouts. And I do want to touch briefly on the production of our sprout powders. This is an awesome product. We utilize low temperature air drying to be sure that all of our nutritional profiles are consistent and maintained. We're going to mill them by hand to give us a very cool, very fine sprout powder. This is going to be great in smoothies, drinks, capsules, nutrition, sports mixes, everything. And guys, I want to finalize this with a shout out to our team at SunGarden. They've all been doing a tremendous job to maintain their integrity and availability during this pandemic. Because of this team, we are still providing the world with the original superfood. For ultimate nutrition, eat sprouts. Guys, thank you for your time. Go ahead, visit our website, www.sproutnet.com, and take a look. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to have our little Q&A session. Go ahead, if you haven't asked any questions yet, pull up your Q&A bar. Ryan and I will answer any questions you might have. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go ahead and open up the questions here and see what we got. Go ahead. If you need help finding the Q&A bar, it should be either at the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen, along next to the chat section, and it'll tell you kind of what you got. So the first question that I'm seeing is, what is the timeline from putting the sprouts in the cold storage to when you guys can actually ship them out? Ryan, you want to go ahead and answer that?
Yeah, so essentially we harvest certain products on different days. So we harvest our green on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Usually the mung we usually are going to do a Tuesday, Thursday. So once everything is essentially sprouted, put in our cold storage, bagged up, it's going to either ship same day or next day, if that answers your question. And then generally, depending if it's a 3PL or you have your own trucks or we're delivering it on one of our SunGarden trucks, you'll have the product within 2 days. Sometimes next day.
All right. Let's see. Another question I'm seeing is what's the consumer's finished packaging? What packaging is the sprouts coming in?
Yeah, so we've got a few different options. We pack for food service. We do bulk, so they're going to have just a polyurethane liner within the SunGarden box. We do a 2, 5, 10 pound. We can kind of get custom with it. And then as far as on the retail side, and some food service as well, but we've got our 4 to 8 ounce packs. It's essentially almost a Ziploc looking bag, and we can kind of get some pictures out to everybody. We also do a clamshell. We do a berry basket. So for the retail, we do several different kinds of packing.
Okay. This next question, Ryan, I'll go ahead and answer this one.
Okay.
It is, what are the risks of finding pathogens in the seed? And on top of that, it's from the same person. It's what are the germination rates? So the risk of finding pathogens in the seed, it'll vary. We typically have a pretty low risk of finding pathogens due to our vetting process on our producers. We go and we visit all of our farms. We be sure that they are following GAP practices, good agricultural practices, and make sure that they are, only selling us clean product as well. We also go to the processors to be sure that all of our processors and cleaners before the seed gets to us, again, are following good manufacturing practices and being sure that everything is clean before it even gets to our facility. So the risk is very low, probably less than 1% that we're going to find anything. But if we do find it, we have a very high probability of finding it in our facility, and we remove that seed from the supply chain. That's not only our supply chain, that is the entire food industry. Once it's been deemed adulterated, it goes on, and that seed can only be used for field propagation at that point. And as far as the germination rates, we only accept seed that is a 90% or higher germination. Typically, it's mostly 95 and up. And Ryan, the next question I have coming in here is, do you grow your own microgreens, or are we farming that out to other facilities? Do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so we do grow everything here in house. We have had certain partners before. If we have an idea, somewhere that's way out west or maybe up in the Northeast that we have explored the options of having a growing partner. So we are definitely open to that. But as far as every microgreen we are growing currently, we do all that in house. And just a touch on the packaging. I saw that question come in a minute ago. Yes, they are permeable, and then with the berry baskets, there are air vents. That way, it does help with the breathability of the product.
Okay. I see another one here, and I think you can probably see it on your screen also. Are you growing with natural sunlight or with grow lights? You want to take that, Ryan?
Yeah, so everything is in an indoor hydroponic facility. So they are not natural lights; they are grow lights. But as far as the tray, we do grow in different systems, as Silas just showed you with the Rototech. So that's the rotating drum that we showed you, and then we also grow in our microgreen trays. So we do have several different growing options, and then the mung bean, it is actually grown in the dark. It does not grow well with light or noise, which is a kind of a fun fact. Most people probably would not know that. So that's why you kind of didn't see the mung growing, because in that room it's dark. So okay. Next question, Silas. Let's see here.
So I've got I'll take this one, and it's how do you ensure that the seed is not contaminated after you puncture every bag? So that's a good question. I'm assuming that you're referring to when we're taking the samples out of every bag. So if there's any contamination that happens during that process, well, first let me back up. That the seed trier that we're using, that's stored in a sterile environment. So there's no bacteria on that seed trier in itself. And if there's any bacteria present, it would show up in our testing facility when we're doing our quality testing. But again, that nothing is certain. There is definitely always possibility of some sort of contamination, which is why after we've taken these samples and we've cleared it, we are then moving it into our seed purification facility and achieving that 6 log reduction in pathogens. And then it's at that point, it is removed from that bag. Every seed is coated with this pathogen reduction solution, and it is rebagged in a clean, non-adulterated bag.
Okay. So if you want me to answer the next question. So are the vents in the packaging on the bottom of the top? They are generally in the bottom for our berry basket. As far as the retail bags, those have a super small microperfs all throughout to kind of ensure fluid breathability throughout that pack.
All right. And then are we certified organic?
Yes, we are via Oregon Health. We are certified organic.
Okay. And the pathogen reduction solution, it is a proprietary blend, but it is FDA approved, and it is an organic plant-based solution. So you are going to be able to maintain that organic certification by using that product. Hey guys, we got time for a few more questions. Has anyone else got anything that they would like to throw out here for us? Brian, a question I'm seeing here is distribution. Does SunGarden have its own distribution channels?
Yeah, so we do have our own SunGarden truck. So we kind of work our region the best we can. However, obviously we can't cover everybody. So we do have third-party logistics and similar companies that grow what we do that we kind of backpack off them. We do some hauling for them, vice versa as well. So we do have several logistical partners as well, but we do have our own SunGarden vehicles.
Right. Another question I'm seeing here is how do you avoid humidity forming in the plastic packaging? I'll go ahead and take that one since I work a lot in the packaging. So our packaging, it has micro perforated holes in it. We use a lot of either plastic bags that have a micro perf or the berry baskets, again, that have those little drain holes in the bottom. This allows breathability with the product and creates that moisture buildup that I know becomes a problem when you're dealing with packaged up sprouts and microgreens.
And then Silas, you want me to take, so we had somebody ask what all certifications we have.
Yep.
We're GMP, we're HACCP, we're actually SQF level 2. As we mentioned, we're organic certified as well. And I believe within the next week we'll be Halal certified as well. So we've got a lot of certifications and we pride ourselves in that. I think that's one of the most important things, especially in the sprouting industry and food service in general.
Yeah, that's very good. We're very proud of our certifications here. We do a lot of effort in it. I think that's one of the things that allows us to provide some of the cleanest product available. Another question here about our packaging: are the micro holes on the bottom or the top of the packaging? And that's going to be very product specific. They're going to be placed there. Typically, they are on the back of the packaging up off of the water line. So if you're sitting on a shelf, they're not going to have water seeping in through the bottom of the packaging. All right, guys, we got time for one more question. If anyone wants to throw something out there, I would like to say that after this is over, we will be providing this webinar to everybody in an email, so you can go back if you missed any section of it, or if you just want to see kind of what we're talking about again, please go ahead and check your emails. Ryan will be sending it out to you.
I'm not seeing anything else at the moment.
Let's see. I have a question here on sprouting kale, and we'll reach out to you after this is done, and I'll give you a full. That's probably a little more in depth than what we need to go into here, but we'll give you a full answer after the webinar is over with. All right, guys, we appreciate your time. Again, reach out to us, either Ryan or myself, and feel free at any time if you have any more questions. We'll be glad to help you in any way we can, point you in the right direction, or see how you can get some of our very wonderful sprouts and microgreens in your facilities. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thanks everybody for joining. We appreciate it.